Welcome back to First Take. Last night, the Knicks welcomed Indiana to the Garden and took the 14 Pacers to overtime, where the Knicks lost 137-134. Indiana had 8 players in double figures. They hit 18 threes to secure their first win at MSG since the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks lost to the Pacers, dropped them to the 3 seed, now a half game behind the Celtics for the 2 seed. Meanwhile, the Pistons hold the NBA's second best record. They are 5.5 games ahead of the Celtics for the East's top seed. Brian Windhorst now joins us here on First Take. Just an embarrassment defensively against a team that has the second worst road record in the league. But anyways, Windy, who do you think is the team to beat in the East?
So, Shay, I spend so many hours a day watching NBA games, talking to scouts, talking to head coaches, talking to players, talking to executives. I study all the stats, I follow all the trends. And here's my analysis on who's going to win the East. I have no idea. And frankly, nobody does. This is the most wide open the East has been, in decades. I mean, there are many times when you get to the All-Star break and you're like, honestly, there's probably only 3 or 3.5 teams that you think can win the championship. I can make a case for definitely 5 teams, and I'm insulting the Raptors a little bit. The Raptors absolutely should say they could win the East. I don't really have them in the group of 5, but they could be mad at me about that. All the rest of these teams have strong strengths and weaknesses. And Stephen A., I'm going to tell you that when I talk to coaches and executives and scouts, they say to me they think the Knicks are the best team in the East. They think that if they had to say this is the team of the 5 that's going to win it, they think it. But they are obviously flawed. And I can go right down the line. I can talk about the Cavs this way. I can talk about the Celtics. And certainly you have the Jason Tatum effect that is an unknown right now. I have no idea whether Joel Embiid is going to be healthy in 2 weeks. How do I know? Certainly, the Pistons have been in first place since day one, but they have challenges. This is fascinating. It's going to be, I think, really great to engage so many fan bases. But anybody who tells you they know who's going to win, they are just guessing.
100% agree. I mean, I think I would probably take the Knicks. I think if I had to, Detroit, I got to see Detroit score in the last 5 minutes of a huge game before I believe in Detroit. They could not do that against the Knicks last year. I got to see them be able to do that. Plus, they have a little incentive. Young team, regular season record means a lot to them, more so than it does to the other 3 teams. So I don't take that much a big deal about the 1 seed. I am never taking Harden in a big game. I never will go near him. Cleveland will do some nice things, and they're dangerous, but Harden will figure out a way to screw it up because he always has his whole career, so I wouldn't go near them. And the Celtics, the Knicks beat them last year, and they beat them handily, and Tatum, for the most part, I know he got hurt late, but they were not going to win that series anyway. Before he got hurt, they're not as good as it is. So I probably, now with a lot of confidence, and we'll throw to Stephen A. here in a minute, now with a lot of confidence, Karl Anthony Towns keeps both teams in the game. That's another thing. He makes the 2 huge free throws last night to tie the game up with 0.2 of a second to go. Then he commits a ridiculous offensive foul.
He had 4 offensive fouls last night. He's a liability.
I mean, what are you doing, son? Get away. He doesn't need a pick at the freaking 60 feet from the basket. I mean, gosh. So I don't completely trust the Knicks either. But, Stephen, if I had to take somebody right now in the East, I would probably take them.
Mike Brown needs to be very, very careful. The New York Knicks lost last night. Their defense was horrible. But they didn't have OG Anunoby and they didn't have Mitchell Robinson. And I get that part. When you have your starting 5 in the lineup this year, the Knicks are 18-5. I get that. I also get the fact that they lost to the Detroit Pistons, who are the best team in the Eastern Conference. They lost by 30. And then came back and were down by 40. The Pistons are sending a message to the entire Eastern Conference, if not the NBA. They're not coming. They believe they have arrived. Where they scare me about the New York Knicks is that, doggy, you've been around. Don't be a historian when you want to be with Kareem and Mike and Koozie and everybody else, but then ignore some other elements of history when it comes to what we're seeing right now. There's something to be said. Wendy, you know this too. Y'all know the difference between somebody that's just beating opponents, and then somebody that targets you and they want you more than they want everybody else. When you talk about the New York Knicks, my problem is we're not talking about Boston or Cleveland or Orlando as an adversary. We're talking about the best team in the Eastern Conference from day one, which has been the Detroit Pistons, who want the Knicks desperately. I mean, they want them bad. I have said this on the air, Wendy, you're covering the league. You're around these games, you're around these players. You tell me I'm lying. These brothers want the Knicks. It's not enough to just win. They want them, doggy. They want them. They're looking at Brunson. They're looking at Josh Hart. They're looking at OG Anunoby. They're looking at Bridges. They're looking at Karl Anthony Towns. They want them. And I'm waiting for the New York Knicks to stand up and to recognize you in a fight. Because, see, with Tom Thibodeau, we ain't had that problem. And I love Mike Brown. And I think that he's much better offensively, particularly when it comes to utilizing depth on the squad, because Kenny Smith had the line of the year last year when he said Tom Thibodeau wouldn't want to play 9 dudes in a baseball game. He's absolutely right. Absolutely right. That was the problem with Tom Thibodeau. His stubbornness is why he's no longer the head coach of the New York Knicks. If he listened and ingratiated himself with players better, where he utilized his bench, where we see guys coming off the bench in the postseason, and we're like, damn, wait a minute, they looking pretty good. They could have played. How come they weren't playing during the regular season? He might have still had his job. Mike Brown is not going to have that problem. The problem with Mike Brown is that the defensive efficiencies is like a roller coaster. They go on a 6-7 game winning streak, and their defensive efficiency is number 1. You see some of their losing streaks, and it's porous. There's a lack of consistency. That won't work against the Detroit Pistons. Ladies and gentlemen, the Detroit Pistons can win it all. They can win it all. You got to see, doggy, I got you. They got size, they got girth, they got defensive prowess, they got offensive firepower, they can hit perimeter shots, they can finish at the basket, they can score in the open court, and they got a star in Cade Cunningham. They are not freaking playing. Now, when are the New York Knicks going to step up and recognize the fact you in a fight? They are coming to kick your ass. What are you going to do about it? That is what the Knicks, I don't want to hear about these coaches talking about Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, who's an all-star and playing like an MVP kid. I don't want to hear all of this. New York Knicks are the best team. They look like the best team of it. No. This is the equivalent of Mike Tyson saying, everybody, you can shadow box, you can spar, you can do everything. You can look great until you get punched in the face or punched in the mouth. That's what the Detroit Pistons are saying to the New York Knicks. We're coming to kick your ass. We're going to punch you right in your mouth. We're going to punch you right in your face. What are you going to do about it? Last 2 meetings, they have destroyed the Knicks. I'm worried. The Detroit Pistons are the best team in the East. Easy.
67 points, Stephen A. 67 points. And by the way, I'm pretty sure J.V. Bickerstaff came on this show last year after that hard-fought series in the first round.
Yes, he did.
Said, give us another shot at the Knicks, and I don't think they've lost to the Knicks since. I know that this is not going to be a satisfying analysis. I honestly think the team that will win the East is the team that's the healthiest.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think that could be the difference between who's playing. I know, but I mean, it's really just going to be the case. And the one thing.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there, Wendy. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. If both the Knicks and the Pistons are healthy, who you got? Based on what you see.
I'm going to tell you what the scouts and the coaches say. They say, and I'm not saying this is my opinion or anything. I'm saying this is what they tell me. They say that in a playoff setting, they question whether the Pistons have enough playmaking and ball handling. That really it's Cade Cunningham and everybody else is a specialist, and that you can do things to take him out of the game in playoff strategy. That could end up not being true. The Pistons could come in there and prove all of that wrong. But I'm just saying you can go team to team and find weaknesses that will hurt them in a 7-game series.
Right now, as it stands,
the Detroit.
The Cavaliers.
On the road in Detroit ain't gonna be that easy.
The Cavaliers are the current favorite to win the Eastern Conference right now, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, at plus 300. The Cavs, not the Pistons,
not with
or the Knicks. Not with you either.
Not with you either.
Coming up on First Take, Drake May got a